You see the you will see the saints rising more days. Either day, no beauty, either day, no beauty. Angels blessing to I have the way it's oh, music in the day. Oh, music is something. Then will come. And what is the Spanish? Then I know what oh, wow, music. Oh, music is something. One last song. Yeah, for the fishes. Okay, we can sing one song. Oh, when shines into Jesus, and and shall lead from the sun, and from the fountain, everlasting light, and shall lead from the sun till the morning. Oh, for I shall mount above the sky when I hear the trumpet sound in the morning. Yeah, Lord, and you hear the trumpet sound in the morning. And when and you hear the trumpet sound in the morning. Oh, shall glory, for I shall mount above the sky when I hear the trumpet sound in the morning. We shall be transformed and shall hear the trumpet sound in the morning. The glories of our and shall hear the trumpet sound in the morning. Oh, shall glory, for I shall mount above the sky when I hear the trumpet sound in the morning. Okay. Okay. Good morning once more, everyone. Yes, I've seen there's Patricia, there's Gertrude, there's Joseph. We've got about 3 people online. Yes, so I'm going to request if you've got something to say, just unmute, then you say. At times I might get carried away, then forget. You people here, you people there. So just do that. Yeah, I'll try to be more attentive. Okay, so yesterday we began to look at our study is titled The Gospel. So we began to look at that. Yeah, we looked into that the events, that quotation we read, what we went through, then we contributed, gave our opinion on what we think that means and things like that. Then we went to look at Revelation. I think Revelation chapter 1, how that is structured. Who is John addressing this information to? And what is this all about? Where we discover that actually Revelation, it's the information, God is warning their people of something that is going to take place within the shortest period of time. The time is now, and we need to know certain things. The audience, the 7 churches, I think we talked about that. Then we went to look into Revelation 14 about the everlasting gospel. So yesterday in the afternoon, we continued from there. Yeah, we also looked at how Revelation is different, the structure of Revelation, how it's written. We looked at the New Testament, the 4 books, life, history of Christ, and then when from Acts to Jude, this is just the Christian church. And then Revelation is talking about events that will take place, looking at kingdoms of the earth. And then we also looked at Daniel being the closed book and Revelation an open book. Yes, that is what we looked at yesterday. Then in the afternoon, we read from 2 SM 106. Yeah, while we saw the evidence of what we're talking about. And then the last thought that we dealt with was about the gospel. And then there was a question like, can the gospel be related to politics and things like that? Then we addressed that. Then there was a question on the floor. I think that is where we ended off yesterday. Yeah, so we're going to begin from there. Yeah, and one of the things that I said, I think I remember asking people to go and do. Can the gospel, what are our findings? Yes, what was our findings? Yeah, like what does hand in hand mean? If we ask that phrase, what does hand in hand mean? So from what I got, hand in hand, it means something that can be associated or connected. So if that's what hand in hand means, can the gospel and politics be connected? What are our thoughts? Huh? Don't whisper. You whisper that I was saying, okay. Okay. So we're going to just this and continue from here. As I'm wrapping, to share your thoughts. Jacob, will that the hand up? Yeah, I've also looked at the definition of politics, I think. There's a question. Why are people quiet? So I say, when we use the phrase hand, it just simply means they can be connected or you can associate it. So if we say the gospel is hand in hand with politics, goes hand in hand with, can we say that's correct? Yes. How about four, point four. Well, it's important to translate. Translate. Yeah. That they are like yeah, because they are like that, like happy. Because if we look at if humanity is actually they would have been such a humanity such a big okay. So what Albert people online will say, he's agreeing that his thoughts, he thinks yeah, it can be connected because without the four, then they would have been such a thing, meaning without the four, no gospel. Yeah, but this came in as a result of the four. Okay, so can I ask a follow-up question? Okay, so you're saying without the four, they cannot be gospel. Then how are you connecting with gospel with politics? How are you going to do that? Yeah. The reason why I'm saying that because the fight they are starting use the force started use the force. Yes, how about the one of the because there were fights which we see in politics uh, is as a result of humanity. Now we have two groups, they are fighting and Christ and Satan, they are fighting, but there are people here on earth who represent. Okay, so like in other words, what you bring up, the controversy that started in heaven, it was the political one, then it spilled off on earth, and then two groups were formed, and then these two groups, they are Christ and Satan, they are fighting, or it's a politics, it's a battle. Who is going to win? So that is what Albert was saying. So because of that, So he's relating politics to gospel. The four, there's a fight for people. I think that is what I'm hearing. Okay. Anybody else? We spoke about this yesterday. Yes. Oh yeah. Okay, so let me begin by yes. So a definition that was given, and I also looked into that. I just got this one. What does politics mean? Like politics refers to the way that countries or governments, just a moment, refers to the way that countries, governments, just a moment. Yeah, in short, how these government they come up with rules and then they make laws and manage their what their societies, human society properly. So in our context, like what is politics in relation to what we are studying? We're looking at there was a battle given, like Albert was saying. It's about two ideologies, two entities are fighting. That is Lucifer and Satan. And then that's full of it. And then that goes on like, and then we begin to look at how does it look on it? It's about kingdoms. These kingdoms, these political kingdoms that exist, that were studying in Daniel and Revelation. These kingdoms, at the end of the day, Lord's kingdom is what? Just too good. So now what we want to establish if politics are part of the gospel or the message, the saving message, are they important to us? Something like that. You understand? Or just look you? What does it say? No. No. Politics, it's just two people. Like what happens in a political debate or anywhere where that campaign is. People will come to tell their ideas. And then people will buy whose idea they feel it's going to align with their thoughts. So here they will either, okay, so we are saying that there is politics, maybe yeah, something like that. Like I think something like that. Okay, people help me. You understanding what? Yes. The definition which was given was just in it was Google. Yeah. Oh. Quite, so I read that. Maybe, yeah. So it's a set of activities that are associated with making decisions in groups or other forms of power relations among individuals, such as distribution of status or resources. The branch of social science that studies politics and government is referred to as political science. So that is the definition that we use. Yes. Yeah, and the definition are a lot of things like this power dynamic, like governance. This is a bit different to what we use. And it even makes the process of the making of laws, even included political parties, without the ways governments and what's. All that was like broader view of what politics are about. So when it comes to the issue of debates between political parties, an example you can that we are Indian, I think that's part of politics. Yeah, it's part of politics. And even the issue of the change of government, politics.
the laws, making of law, it's politics. Yeah. So it's with that definition where now. So if we see maybe certain price they are debating, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because there's the issue to do with the governance, they are going to say governance. Exactly the same to my kingdom. If you I want my side, this is how my kingdom is. This guy says it's how my kingdom is. So it's dealing with the governance. I think that is, when we follow that definition, that is the detraction. Yeah. I will give you this conclusion.
And no, we didn't.
Just like
Yeah. And then there was a question that was that at the end of the day, we wanted to see the gospel can have what politics in it and things like that. So we began to look at what is that, like the message, actually even in the middle is to find that what is there, find those kingdoms and things, these are politics. It is spiritual and things like that. So, and then the question, I think the last question that was asked by Patricia, are politics part of the gospel, or are politics the gospel? I think something like that. Yes. So that is where we left off from. Yes. So is it clear? So now what is our answer? Let's finalize on that. Yes, Albert. Quotation for
remember the definition by everyone because they was more politics and the carry the Baba, I'm done with the state. But there is as Kuba, we are coming to like everyone says the party of
voting, yes.
is voting. Yeah, and they missed something by doing that. Yeah, but we are not supposed to make that mistake. Therefore, we need to
Yes, participate and follow.
follow what
Okay, so Albert is saying there is a quotation if somebody can help him, which is talking about how the Millerites neglected politics in cited an example where they were supposed to vote, they didn't vote. And then for us who are admonished to follow and participate, say participate in politics, something like that. And when it's participating, meaning voting, yeah, something like that. Chichi had your hand up.
Okay, I wanted to say that, I just said it. I think the gospel, our gospel or gospel that we are supposed to is it's full of external events, understanding the gospel. I can say that. So yeah, the gospel can be politics. Yeah.
Okay, so Chichi, so what you're just trying to say is that the message that we're learning currently is involving a lot of politics, external events while we're watching politics and things like that. So because of that, the gospel, she agrees that the gospel and the politics, they go hand in hand. Okay, so that is, those are the thoughts of Chichi. So let's go back to the basics. Yes.
Can I ask?
Yes, yes. So Justina then guys.
That's remember yesterday we defined the gospel.
Yes. Yes. Produces. Yes.
So that's what the also.
Yes.
So I just want to give you that any look different because you know like what she was saying, we study a lot of events, we study a lot of political things, and that's how they're seeing who doesn't really anymore. Maybe in another time we'll open, you know, saying an animal or whatever dispensation, or whatever it is. Is that sort of where we are going from?
Okay, so let me share that. So Justina is asking, when does it mean that the gospel looks different in this different dispensation? Like in our times it's looking more political, and then in this dispensation it's kind of different. Like maybe in that the gospel it's looking like they're slaying animals and things like that. That is the question that is. You want me to address that? Me just.
Is that what we are kind of
Can you
asking?
repeat the question, teacher, for Justina, please?
At what, Gertrude? I
Can you
didn't
repeat
get
the question? Can you repeat the question for Justina?
Oh, she's asking, like my line of thought, correct? Is it what I'm saying? Does the gospel look different in different dispensation? Here to look political, here to look something different. That is what Justina is asking.
Or are we saying the gospel, saying the gospel?
I have not thought of that really, like why you are bringing them. Okay, my line of thought is we're looking at Revelation, okay? So I think I'm looking, my focus is on how it's looking, these two books. Like Ellen White, or now before we even go to Ellen White, just like in our opening, we looked at, I didn't go to the Old Testament, yeah. I just looked at the New Testament, how they are structured, how Revelation is different from these other books, like before, then these from Acts to Jude, how it's looking different. I don't know, I'm sure it looks political. I'm not looking to that, so my focus is there. So I don't know, really, I'm not looking to that. I can't think in those lines. But I'm looking at it from this angle. Yes, Kaisa.
Yeah. Since we will be defining
Mhm. Mhm.
how this is process it's a government. Yeah. The those and before certain was an example of bias. Only that war came on. Yeah. And if we go to Daniel chapter, we can see that this kingdoms, they hold people by their choices. Yeah. And they,
Just a moment, Kaisa, for me to explain all that it will be difficult. Come here. I'm requesting you come here. It will be very difficult for me to.
just
Had gone so much. Ah, just come here and explain, please. I've asked guys, I've requested him to come here so that he explains everything. Now you're involving explanation.
okay. Not on the issue, yeah, politics.
We have explained what a way for
Kutila, Mano, Maya, yamukekere
science of governance.
umo abantu balema nokukwaya okukwata amakapali byobwe
We see that people rise up wanting to have power of the government.
okakwati bakwatira amaka baleesa ama ideologies yamuneke balatwalira kubyepantachi nokwesha okusolva ama-challenges abantu bali kutamu.
For them to have power, they are going to have ideology which they are going to use.
So mulaba buteeko n'amafumu beni twagisambira okutira kumuna okuli buteeko obukwete amufumu.
They are actually government and the laws. And we also need that even in heaven, the government which has law.
So satana akeni uli obuteeko okutira tawuli bwino naine kufuna kitesite kibuteeko okusuma kabiri abantu bose.
Sometimes heaven protected government which was there in that he came up with a new government there one to stay.
Yeah. So okumona pali okutira nakwata eza manifesto awina n'abangeri ebitawo.
When we look at that, we can see that Satan and the messages and the manifesto will be used to bring people to this side.
So kile kitama kinategemeanya kodi ndio kwa
Within this scenario, actually, we can see it's matching with the nation politics which we are.
So hiyo watu waisa pachana.
When this conflict comes here,
Daniel chapter 2 kule mwana muteko nomba yali sana ya pata abantu mo polisi ya mutekere yawo.
in Daniel chapter 2, you can see government in ruling the people with their ideology.
So gospel wako ibeshira na yena ilefu ya iwinya abantu. Okay, bakumu kuminyololo.
And the gospel also comes in with conflict to save people so that they are free from their slavery.
Kona yena yena ndako kuteko wako the kingdom of heaven.
The gospel is also talking about the kingdom of heaven.
They cover the kingdom of earth.
Even or
So ili ngile turamuna pali bo bikumu butekwaya iyo na konfuto bakumo.
both in the time we see the controversy between these governments and the government in the
Then by some people that also directs the movements of the earthly powers.
we learned that God creates the heavenly powers, the movement of the heavenly powers.
So nyapeko tule mwanoko ati yali ba connected gospel na politics.
This is why we are saying indeed we are connected to the connection between the gospel and
Nomba ishishivenga kutitwa fyakanya because nga kutitwa lango kutira kuli religious politics then kwa civil politics. But again, even in those civil politics, a part of God's commandment, for example, there's last 6 commandments we do with the civil things.
yeah, I don't know if we can separate politics and gospel. Yeah, but I believe they are an example. I don't know if we can say they are religious politics and civil politics. Yeah, by the way, we even learned that even civil is actually part of the commandment. Because the 10 commandments specifically learned that they are blessing without people
So let's monitor connected. We can't separate them. Because in the cluster separate, separate to know avoid the political questions.
Me, what I'm saying is these things are intimately connected and they cannot be separated. So if you separate them in the gospel and politics, then maybe it will go to what we used to say, like avoid certain political questions.
Kurekeresha ndeti yakanya ndi munokutira turi kuteka kwa satana kwa kuteka kwa Yesu.
At the end, I'm separating the government of God and the government of Satan.
Ero kwa kuteka kwa bantu.
There is also the government of faith.
Remember these two powers, the big powers, bade angalia kwa kuteka kwa bantu.
There are only some real powers like the government of Satan and Christ. They are playing out their issues in the government of humanity.
So ndio mnapata people trace kupanumba open picture because in the Twaranda tukwati gospel with political gain. Nada imechana mweka kubafidia.
This is where we are having a problem. Because if we say the gospel is political, maybe people think that which is
So when academic politics, but you will take me over.
even if there are no politics, but the fact is the government is
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure people online we hate Kaiser, so there's no repeating what we say. Okay, so okay, we're going to read something. To SM, this material. Try it's this one. I want that one which says there are lots of people who are living. One of them is this one. 102. Yes, please open that one. Yeah, please. Okay. 102. My food. Yes.
Somewhat.
Ah?
Somewhat. Repeat your quotation.
102.1. Yeah, my phone knife is a song. Yes. But I would also even ask you to share your phone. Yeah, you can read. I want to be looking there. Yes.
There are those now living inside the prophecies of Daniel and John, received great light from God as they passed over the ground, where special prophecies were in process of fulfillment in their order. They bore the message of time to the people. The truth shone out clearly as the sun at noonday. The special event showing the direct fulfillment of prophecy were set before the people, and prophecy was seen to be a proof directing definition of events leading down to the close of this event. The scenes connected with the working of the scenes connected with the working of humanity on sin are the last features plainly revealed in this earthly. The people now have a special message to give to the world. Different end of message. Those who, in their experience, have passed over the ground and acted a part in the proclamation of the first, second, and third end of message are not so liable to be led into false paths as those who have noticed and experimental knowledge of the gospel.
Okay. Somebody wants. I'll write and grab it because it's already just for the sake of it for online. This one. So I'll wrap it. Okay. So what are we getting from here? There are people who are alive. What are they studying? The books of Daniel and Revelation. And then when they start these books, what is happening? They are what? Prophecies that are what? Fulfilling before their eyes. Okay? Things are happening as they are living. Okay, so let me read something. I'll just get a part from here. So they're saying the truth shone out clearly as the sun at noonday. Historical events showing the direct fulfillment of prophecy were said before the people, and the prophecy was seen to be figurative delineation of events. Yeah, okay, this is the definition of prophecy. So what is happening is, what do we find in the books of Daniel? I'll have this. So we've got Daniel, and we've got what? Let me just say. These two books, what do you find here when you're reading? What do we find? Prophecy, specifically concerning what? Yeah? Oh, we call it. At times I hear people say Bible, whatever, let me not use this. But at the end of the day, it's what? Kingdoms. Okay? That is what you're going to find here. And then, yesterday we were talking about these kingdoms are what? They're political kingdoms. And then we learned that actually there is a what? The great controversy, which has what? Field of here. And then these people who are studying this book, what are they seeing? The prophecies what? Prophecies have been what? They are being fulfilled. And how will they know that there is a fulfillment? How will they know? How will they see the event? How will you know that this is happening? Yes, they are seeing events, but how will you know that this event has done what has happened? Studying. Studying alone can make you to see that, okay? What else? So these are what events that are happening and they're watching them. And for them, in order to notice that this event, there is a fulfillment of this event, they are studying the books of what? Daniel and Revelation. And where are they going to see these events? Where are they going to see these events? In the world, by watching what?
News, TV, whatever.
I didn't get what you're saying, get what? You said what?
The events are fulfilling. Yeah, they watching news. They see in the world they are fulfilling by watching news. Events taking place. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, so they'll be watching these events. And then these events are concerning what? Kingdoms of the world. these are kingdoms of the world that are fighting for power, and then they're seeing this. When they see this, then they can pinpoint this event has happened. There is this which says, in the very quotation, the sins connected with the working of the man of sins are first, I beg your pardon, the sins connected with working of the man of sins are the last features plainly. Okay, the sins connected with the working of the man of sin are the last features plainly revealed in this earth's history. The people have a special message to give to the world, the third angel's message. So how will they know that, okay, let's talk about the Millerite, okay? So how will they know the time period they're living in? While they're seeing prophets and things like that. How will they know? They're talking about the papacy and all those things. How will they know that this is what we've reached? Okay. Okay, we'll
By
get back to
following
this.
the events, following the events, yari fulfilling.
Okay. You've heard what Ketu said. When people speak here, you're hearing. So anyway, Ketu was saying by following events. Okay. So now just one last thing before we go any further. So we agree that politics and the gospel, they work hand in hand, or they move together, to use that term. Is that okay with us here in the online?
Yes.
Okay, what about here? Eh? I can't get your question. Okay, what about the rest of us? Because I can't have just maybe one, two, and things like that before I make my next point. Do we agree? Or it's still something that we are struggling with? Yes.
What? It's in a way, it's just then there is that they closely work to together. Now, is that what we mean when we say the gospel and the gospel of and the politics and working hand in hand? Meaning, by definition, politics has to be something different for prophecy. Then, but they them working together to take them into human. Prophecy will be human A, then politics will be human B. Then there is a way to these two human work together. So that is what it means, like working hand in hand. I don't know if that is the definition. Then the other one is prophecy and politics and prophecy is one thing, meaning it's one person. Yeah, so those are the two. And so
For the
which there are two things.
yes.
Which work
Yeah, this other ones. We put it for that.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, by the way, did you hear what Trust was saying? So if you didn't hear, Rasa was asking them, what are we talking about? Are we saying politics is the gospel equal to politics? Or are we saying politics and gospel, they're just working hand in hand, they're moving together, they're two different entities, something like that?
Yeah.
Then you've got the question.
My question is, if it is the definition one, where is
Mm.
looking at the passage 2:10, somehow says the gospel is prophecy. Then why we quote
Yes,
Revelation
yes.
14?
Yes.
Somehow it said the gospel is prophecy.
Mhm.
But then prophecy is going to define it.
Depends.
The deviation and so if prophecy equals to events,
Okay, let me write that.
and I'm not saying that correctly.
Yes, I know. You're telling me. Yes.
If prophecy equals to today,
Yes.
and those events,
Depends.
now what are those events? Are they not positive?
Yes, we are looking at the kingdom.
If you answer that they're politics, since prophecy equals to events, events equals to politics, which tells you like politics equals to prophecy. So that is
And what did you say? If you say event equal to what?
Politics equals to events,
Then
then event equal to
you say event equals to politics.
politics.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this one is politics. Yeah.
That formula is the same as A equals to B
A equals to G.
and B equals to C. Then if they ask what is A, me I will say A is C. Am I wrong?
A is C. What are your thoughts, people? A, B, then so
Yes.
what are your thoughts?
Is it wrong to say A is equal to C?
Kaisha is saying what?
Yeah, it's
Hello?
if A
Yes,
Hello?
online.
B
Yes, yes, Joseph.
is equal to C. Will it be wrong to say A?
Just a moment. I want to see. You're saying he's not wrong? Okay, so before you come in, Joseph wants to say something. Yes, Joseph.
Yeah. Me, I was thinking if I can go back to the presentation of Justine, where we are looking at the person as political, and if we finished or if we go back in that, to me, I think is when we're learning about person is political, we went even further to understand that this political is prophecy. So I don't see like separating the two, like political and the prophecy, because the issue is what is politics? Because politics, the way
Yes.
of life, yeah. So now, to me also, I don't see that as something separate, unless if the context you are using it is different, then I'll agree with that. But like Ras was put that example, me, I can say A is C is fine. It means politics and prophecy is just the same.
Then prophecy is the gospel.
Yes, yes,
And then the gospel is what? Is politics.
yes.
That is the conclusion.
I didn't finish my thought.
Hello.
Okay. Just before you come in, Patricia, let Russell finish his thoughts, please.
My point alone stand to be correct. If you have concluded, maybe this class has concluded that event equals to politics. Yeah. if that is not the conclusion, my whole thing, that's what collapses.
Okay.
But if the solid conclusion or argument that events indeed, one in that passage, they are politics. Yeah, then my point stands. Meaning then it will be prophecy equals the delineation of events. And those delineation of events, they are politics. Therefore, prophecy are politics. But if those events are not, they can't be defined as politics, then my point was
Okay.
collapses. So does people agree that those events are politics? Yeah, I think that is how many methodology will force us. Yeah. That is my thought.
So, Russell was, I'm sure you heard what Russell was saying. His final thoughts before this. You heard him?
We'll go through. You repeat them.
So Russell will be
Repeat
doing
them.
it. So Russell is saying, yes, I'm trying to repeat what Russell was saying. So Russell was saying that he wasn't done with making his point. He's saying this point that is demonstrated can only stand if this class is concluded, today's class, like the whole.
Is an assumption that can be correct is the definition of events in the passage. Yeah, like you say prophecy, you say prophecy is the delineation of what?
Events.
Events. And you said that's the definition of prophecy.
Yes.
Therefore, I say, therefore, prophecy equals to events.
Yes.
Those which are linked to the Lord.
Yes.
If prophecy equals to events, now what are those events? Are those events politics?
Yes.
If everyone was going to say those events equals to politics, then my point stands. Prophecy equals to politics.
Okay.
But if those events cannot be defined as politics, then my point was
It
collapses.
crumbles.
Yes, that is.
So Russell was saying, his point can only stand if people agree that these events that are leading to the close of the world or the end of the world are politics. So if you agree that these events are politics, that's when his point can stand. That's what he's saying. Those were his last thoughts. So I heard somebody wanted to say something here. Charity, you're on before. You had the hand before? Okay, so online, somebody wanted to say something before Charity. From the way I'm reading,
They are politics.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Patricia, then Joseph.
Yeah, the only thing that I want to say is maybe when we use the word politics, try to put it in a context. Because if you leave it just like that to say politics involve a lot of things, you know. And the common one that we all know is the usual one that we usually see, where people fight for, like where people fight for power. There is deceit, there is the issue of getting power by any means and stuff like that. So when you talk of it in this lesson, I'm sure I try to put it in the context, because politics, as in general, like the word itself, politics, it has got a lot of things. And if we can, I'm sure Russell has already stated to say, only if we agree to say the events, they are the politics that we are talking about. But for me, when you just leave it like politics, you know, you are going to raise a lot of questions. So I was just thinking maybe you just put a context to the word politics, because it involves a lot of things, and then marrying it with the word of God or the gospel. I don't know how to just do that. So maybe you try to do that. Thank you.
Okay, so but before anyone can, I think we already defined, we had put a context in the beginning, like how we are looking at how politics began. We began that in heaven and things like that. So I don't understand. Maybe somebody can help me. I thought I'd put them in a
Okay,
context.
before somebody else helps you, let me try to help you. The person who has asked you there, like to
Yes,
put the
yes.
context. You know what I mean is the word politics, Regina. If you look at the definitions, you can't even find one common definition. That's what I mean. You can't find one common definition to define the word politics itself. Like it's defined in so many ways and it deals with a lot of things. It depends with what
You
you're
said
talking
the
about.
example so that I
And
can
I also,
understand what you mean.
okay, what I meant was the usual politics that we see, or if you are to ask me to say what are politics or who is a politician,
Okay, what is
I'll
the
tell you to
usual?
say
Give me the usual.
the
What
usual,
are
it's
the
the
usual?
ones that we see, where like how come local here in Zambia. When we talk of politics, we mean politicians and the things that they do every after 4 years or 5 years. You know, they
Okay,
fight
so
for
like
power.
you talk
Who is
about
going to be
maybe PF and what? And UPND.
yes, you know,
That
we've
is
got members of
correct.
parliament. We have the
So
president, the vice
absolutely.
president, members of
That is
parliament,
governance.
members of
Correct?
parliament, members of parliament. They are there doing politics. They are making those laws and rules. So when you say politics, you say politics started in heaven, where we had two
Yes.
sides, and then
Yes.
there was a fight for power there, fight for
Yes.
authority, fight for followers, fight for who is going to be the boss, and all those things. So now,
Yes, I'm listening.
yes, now there is the issue of events, kingdoms rising and falling.
Oh,
Like it's just
yes.
a lot. It's so broad. Can you try to
Okay.
help us to
So
know
we'll
where we
begin
are
here.
going?
We'll begin with the one that you've talked about here. You've talked about politics. The way when you hear politics, you gave an example of them. Politicians, those are just political parties you've got. So we cited an example, PF and UPND. We talked about MPs. We can talk about all those in short. The parliament, what is happening So we'll continue. Yeah, something happened here, so but we are back now. Patricia, you are the one on the floor. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Patricia.
I can hear you, teacher.
Yes, now I was asking, I think I was asking you something like the example you gave, the usual politics. So you gave the usual politics, it's yeah, like political parties in a country, you put the members, they all that process and things like that. So I was asking, what do you call that? Yes, I
Again,
want to hear.
the name, I don't understand the question.
Not
What do
really
you
a
do?
name. Like, okay, when you talk about political parties, that you talk about what? The parliament and all those, the president, what is that? Isn't that governance? Government and things like that.
Yes, political parties emerge in order for them to form a government.
Yes, and then when they form a government, what do like so government institution, what do? They make laws. They make laws and then they rule.
You know,
That's what
like
they do.
when you talk of government again, there are a lot of governments. So there are those that make laws, and there are those governments that are governed by the people. There are those governments that are governed by monarchs. So when you say government, you're also
But
bringing
at
in
the end
something
of
that
the
is
day, are
broad.
they all government, Patricia? Whether like, okay,
Huh?
let's talk about England. We talk about the UK and Zambia, there they've got a monarch. How is it any different from Zambia? Isn't that
Here
also a
we vote.
government?
The difference is this, Regina. So here next year we'll be voting. Them they are with that King Charles, I don't know for how long until that man dies. So it's a huge difference. If something is wrong in the UK, they will live up to it. But us here in Zambia, we have got a choice. Like we're waiting for 2025 to decide. So governments differ. We can't just say governments because they are governments. They differ on how they govern. We can't put them in one basket.
Okay. Maybe I'm not understanding, Patricia. Anyone who can help me. Because when we talk about government, what does that mean? A government which is run by a monarchy and which is maybe what do we call this? America, there's what are they the what uh is there a difference in governance? Because you call that government. The only thing that is different there, you can even go to as far as saying maybe a monarchy there is what? It's dictatorship. But here people they are in democracy, they can vote, they change the government. At the end of the day, government and they are making laws or rules where people they follow, they lead people. That's what I don't know unless I stand to be corrected here. Online and here, that's what I think what the government is. What are your thoughts here? What does governance or government mean? The types and things like that, when there are different types of government, can that affect governance? Yes.
Yeah, I want to go back to
You want to go back to the package? Okay.
because this generation of the day, we are told that the way of the world is seen, without the what who are there.
The sins we are talking about, the sins connected with the work of the man of things are the last features plainly revealed in this earth's history.
Yeah, so when we go to Daniel chapter 2, we have a kingdom there. We hope some of them they were children,
Yes.
yeah, they are there.
Yes.
When we go down to the United Kingdom, we have seen our nation progress, whatever, is to come. All these governments, they are the same. They have got influence on the mind. And the certain also have got influence on the many people as they are shifting their country, making the rules, regulations. Yeah. So what I can say is the gospel, it's a source of salvation. Yeah. Which is somehow standing alone. But there is a corner where it is connected now in these events. Because these events, according to that, they are political. For instance, they come and tell us about easy power like the PF and the UPNG, they are fighting. They want to meet the government. They have got different policies to put in place. But if they reach the government, then they change laws. Suppose they like the PF, they are going to they don't want. If they control the government, they change those laws, they block, they increase the rest of the law.
Okay, guys, what is the point? I'm just trying to, what is the point you're trying to make?
I mean, whatever happening, the end results, they either they align with God's law or against God's law. Yeah, and to that extent, we can say they are political. And the gospel, when we talk about the human affairs,
So what you're trying to say, it's a lot of things. I'm confused.
I'm saying whatever government creation, whether kings or public and governance, all the same, the conclusion is they administer laws.
Okay.
They are more, it's to practice.
Okay.
Whatever dynamics, it is law, the end. They do over the people. They influence over the people. Yeah. So is the government of God. So is the government of God. So when we say quantity, it is when there are two parties contesting to control and to win power.
For the sake of governing.
Exactly. Yeah. And those things, they bring events at the end, and those events we call they are prophetic.
Okay. Stop. Okay, we should let that be. How about you start?
Na establish a community our looking Nathaniel was saying when Paul was praying about the people, what is written in the Bible that and now, in relation to that, we get more people. When you look at Daniel, he came in and from there, among people, every share that was that was Salah in this way. Because that is the external of them. That process is around the back. And it's within this government where office is. Yeah. And if these governments are not do what office, then office. So, tukiwa wala great science, ya kwa lesson about the long time. That time, you find that time you don't go beyond the side of that. And those who be on the wrong side, the office. But now, what I'm saying, we can't separate. That is not the
Okay. Yes, Russell.
Okay. I think the Patricia's question. Yeah, how I'm getting it. Maybe I'm trying to understand passwords. I think correct me if I'm goes back to the question that has been asked about the like is there a point where the gospel not deal with
Politics.
and in certain this foundation dealing with politics? Is that the question? Was that the question? Yeah. So I'm trying to understand what's coming into our mind, especially when we hear the words
Politics.
politics. I think that is where
The problem is.
the problem is. I don't know what standard version of the words education politics are going to adopt. I think someone maybe might think of the cross is the gospel. Then how is the cross connected to
Politics.
politics? And is so I think that is what is causing that confusion. Yeah. Maybe everyone who said they are finding out the gospel, like maybe in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. That is the first gospel. And where is politics? Like in that verse. Like so a lot of things, like we talk of justification by faith is the gospel. How is justification by faith politics? So people are thinking into all those issues. So maybe I think that is where when we say maybe like the gospel is politics, someone would think of how is the cross politics, because maybe someone understands politics to be campaigns. This party and this party they are campaigning for the rise and fall of nation. Then how is the cross the rise and fall of nation? So I think that is what is going on because mind.
Yeah.
Hello?
You heard what Russell
Hello?
was saying? Yes, yes.
Yeah. You're saying yes to me?
You.
Yes,
You didn't mention my name.
Oh, Joseph.
Yeah. What I want to do is I want to give maybe a dictionary definition of politics.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to give a dictionary definition. Yeah, then maybe from there we can derive something, or you can help me, because what I'm getting from Patricia is like this kind of understanding we have about politics, and I think we should maybe move from that one for us to understand something. Yeah, because if I just go with, because
Yes, you
if
can
I
go.
just because if I just go with with what I know, what politics is, then I'll miss out what maybe is about to be what I want to learn. Yeah. So the first definition I want to give is
Joseph,
it's
there is a guidance here that we've gone beyond time. So I'll just request that what you do, you share those the definitions. Well, you can post them in Kitwe. You post them in Kitwe and questions that people have, then we'll begin from there tomorrow. You ready?
Okay,
Hello?
teacher. And for my questions, I think don't worry. Let me just sit back for now and try to see where the lesson is going. I might just get the answers. Maybe I'm rushing, or maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. So for now, I'm just in the background listening. Don't bother about my question. When you come next time, start from somewhere.
And
I try
you
to
have
learn for
something.
now.
Okay, before anything, yeah.
I just wanted to say, like, whilst yes, what Rachel said, the reason why I didn't get to do that because you already also qualified for us. Because by using the control, maybe the nation, take the nation. Because you already said that context for us, everything about things, I think it's already in the context. So that's why I think let's do that.
Okay, so what we do? Okay, just send your questions and things like that. Patricia, don't say that. You send your questions and draw the definition and other thoughts. Then we can see how we can help each other to move. That is what I can say. People are saying it's time up, we have to move. Yeah, so for now, we'll end here. So that is okay with you, Joseph, correct? All right? I presume that's a yes. So, okay, we're going to kneel down and God Almighty, we thank you for this wonderful day of time. Thank you for being with us. Help us, O God, to understand you. Help us challenge us, O God, to we're about to go for run. Announcement. That's it. Announcement. So in the afternoon, it will be 15:30. The lessons will start. Yes. So thank you for your attendance and your time. Bye until 15.
Teacher, what time did you start teaching?
12. It was 12:15.
Was something, and you were supposed to present for just an hour?
At what? An hour 15 minutes. Yes, an hour 15 minutes. So we went over
Okay.
there. Yes,
All
yes. So we leave.